Some fights start loud, but ours started with a simple message. One that carried a dagger's edge hidden behind casual arrogance. My wife, Alina, had developed this new habit of snapping back at me whenever I asked where she was going or when she'd be home. Not controlling questions. Not interrogation. Just basic communication any married couple respects. But lately, she acted like even that was too much. So that night, when she walked out wearing a new perfume and a confidence that didn't match her usual mood, I asked the most harmless question a husband could, "Where are you headed?" She looked at me with a smirk, tapped her phone, and sent a text instead of speaking. Seconds later, my phone lit up with her message, "I don't need to tell you where I am." No explanation. No softness. Just a cold, dismissive sentence dripping with disrespect, like I was an inconvenience she had to brush past. I stared at that message for a long moment, not because it hurt, but because it told me everything she had been avoiding saying aloud. She wanted freedom without responsibility. A marriage without accountability. A partner she could treat like background noise. So I replied with one word that she absolutely did not expect. Sure. Not an argument. Not a question. Not a plea. Just a calm, short, unsettling acceptance that instantly shifted the balance. She saw the message, read receipt on, and 2 minutes later, she sent a question mark, then, "Are you okay?" She had expected me to argue, yell, chase, demand answers. Instead, I gave her silence and complete, chilling freedom. What she didn't know was that her phone was still connected to our shared cloud backup, a feature she insisted on months ago for convenience, then forgot existed. I never used it. Never needed to. But that night, when her message punched the last bit of patience out of me, I opened the synced map device she'd forgotten about. And there it was, her location, a bright blue dot blinking in real time. She wasn't where she claimed to be earlier. She wasn't with the girls she mentioned last week. She wasn't even in a place that made sense for a casual night out. She was at a rooftop lounge across town, a place known for private booths, dim lights, and the kind of atmosphere where secrets could breathe easily. Still, I didn't storm there. I didn't confront her. I didn't blow up her phone. I simply grabbed my keys, put on a jacket, and left the house with the same calm she thought I didn't have. If she didn't think she needed to tell me where she was, then she also didn't deserve the courtesy of knowing where I was going. 5 minutes after I walked out, I finally messaged her, heading out. Nothing else. No explanation. Let her feel what she thought I didn't need. Information. Within seconds she bombarded me. Where? Why? With who? The irony tasted bitterly poetic. She had no idea that I was walking straight into the same rooftop lounge. I didn't go there to start a scene. I didn't go there to embarrass her. I went there to see the truth with my own eyes before deciding how my life would move forward. When I entered, the dim gold lighting washed over faces, the music thumped softly, and the low chatter blended into a constant hum. And there she was, Alina, sitting in a corner booth with a man from her office. Too close. Too comfortable. Too familiar. Not touching, not kissing, but leaning in with a softness she hadn't shown me in months. A softness I had been starving for. I didn't approach. I didn't interrupt. I simply stepped to the side, took out my phone, and snapped a picture. Not to blackmail. Not to explode. But to end the era of excuses she would surely try to manufacture later. Then I turned around, walked out of the lounge, and headed straight home. 10 minutes later, she looked at her phone again, this time at the picture I sent her. Her reaction happened in real time. Scene 10:47 p.m. Then instantly, "Wait! Adrian, what are you doing there?" Followed by, "It's not what it looks like. Please just wait, please." Her entire attitude flipped. The moment she realized I wasn't clueless. The moment she realized I wasn't waiting at home like a loyal fool. The moment she understood her false freedom had a cost. Her messages came flooding in. Panic, excuses, desperate claims about coincidences and misunderstandings. She left the lounge so fast that her location pin started darting across the map like a glitch. She was rushing home, terrified of what awaited her. When she finally burst through the door, breathless, sweating, her lipstick smeared from panic, not from him, she found me sitting calmly on the couch, the same way I had been when she flaunted her independence. She started explaining before she even finished closing the door, words rushing out, breath shaking, hands trembling. He's just a colleague, he was just giving advice. Nothing happened. I swear, Adrian listened to me. But the damage wasn't the picture. It wasn't even the man. It was the message. The message that said she didn't owe her husband basic respect. The message that said communication in our marriage was optional for her. The message that revealed what she really thought of our bond. I let her talk until she finally broke down, realizing I wasn't reacting, wasn't yelling, wasn't arguing. Just listening with the same cold, quiet clarity I'd given her earlier. Finally, I said one sentence, slow, steady, devastating. If you don't need to tell me where you are, then maybe you don't need to be in this marriage. She froze. Completely. Like her soul left her body. Because for the first time, she understood that freedom can be a door, and that door swings both ways. She collapsed onto the floor, crying, pleading, begging for another chance, promising transparency, respect, honesty, things she once took for granted. That night didn't just fall apart for her. It exposed everything she never expected me to see. And it changed everything going forward.